Hello everyone, I'm Stephanie Haney. It's Friday, May 1st, here for 3 News. I have your top headlines from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. We do have those updated numbers in from the Ohio Department of Health. Before I get to that, I'm going to be breaking down a lot of numbers for you here right off the top, but I do want to let everyone know right off the top that mostly across the board in Ohio numbers, US numbers, and worldwide numbers, the increases today are lower than we saw yesterday. So yes, the numbers are still going up, but from yesterday to today, almost across the board, those numbers have increased by a smaller number than we saw yesterday. So that's positive news. So let's keep that in mind as we go into those numbers. Here's the updated numbers from the Ohio Department of Health for the state of Ohio and how we stand in terms of COVID-19 in the state. There are now a total of 8,743 reported cases of COVID-19 here in the state of Ohio. The number of people who have died is now 1,002. So we have breached that 1,000 mark here in Ohio. Total of 1,002 now reported to have died related to COVID-19. The number of people hospitalized is now 3,634 that have been hospitalized related to COVID-19 here in the state of Ohio. And of those people, 1,056 of them have been in the intensive care unit. So now let's take a look at how those numbers compare from day to day. From yesterday to today, over the past 24 hours, we have seen 716 new cases of COVID-19 reported. Now, yesterday, we saw 724 new cases reported, so it's down ever so slightly, but it is down a little bit. Today, we have 27 new deaths reported for that total of 1,002 deaths. So that is a marker there that we have now breached that 1,000 mark in terms of death here in the state of Ohio. But do keep in mind we saw 27 new deaths today, and yesterday at this time we saw 37 new deaths today. Also, earlier in the week, we saw the single largest 24-hour increase in deaths with 138 deaths. That was earlier in the week. So today, the fact that we are seeing 27 new deaths is as positive it can be in terms of new deaths related to COVID-19 at this point, unless we had seen 0 deaths, which does not seem to be the case and something we probably won't be anticipating for a little while here. Now, if we look at the worldwide numbers, we now have 3,279,000 cases of COVID-19. That's up 31,000 from yesterday. Now, this is a big drop in the increase because yesterday at this time, we saw 91,000 new cases. So today, worldwide, we're seeing 31,000 new cases. That's significant. In terms of deaths, worldwide, there are now 234,021 deaths reported related to COVID-19. That is up about 3,400 from yesterday. But yesterday at this time, we saw 11,000 new deaths. So that is also a much smaller increase than we saw yesterday. So again, worldwide, the total number of deaths right now, 234,021, up 3,400 from yesterday, but a much smaller increase than we saw at this time yesterday. Now, here in the U.S., where it's estimated that we are doing about 200,000 tests per day for COVID-19, but experts do say that is still not enough, we have almost 1,071,000 cases of COVID-19. So that's 25,000 new cases reported in the last 24 hours. This is the one portion here where it went up a little bit from yesterday. We saw less than 25,000 new cases yesterday, but today we are seeing 25,000 new cases across the U.S. Also across the U.S. in terms of death, there are 63,023 reported COVID-19 deaths at this point. So that is up 1,735 new deaths from yesterday. However, yesterday we saw 2,300 new deaths. So the number of increase of deaths is down from yesterday to today here in the U.S. Again, that number of deaths in the U.S., 63,023 deaths. Now, to bring it back to the flu season again, because there's lots of conversation about this, some people are saying that they've seen reports that the CDC has actually stopped reporting about flu-related deaths, and that is not true. The CDC continues to release a weekly report related to flu deaths, and they say so far at this point, nationally, the numbers are down. 2 years ago, the 2017 to 2018 flu season, that whole season was the most deadly in the past decade, and the CDC estimated 61,000 flu deaths in that entire flu season. Now, in the past 6 weeks, we are now aware of 63,000 COVID-19 deaths across the U.S. We talked about this morning, that last year's flu season, that was from October 2018 to May of 2019, the estimates were that there were 34,200 flu-related deaths. That's across 7 months, and last year's flu season was the longest flu season that we've had in a long time, 21 weeks. Now, as we just said, the numbers of the U.S. deaths related to COVID-19 are in 63,000s right now, so you can see for yourself how that compares. That's almost double. So I wanted to bring people's attention to that because I've seen a lot of conversation around the fact that the CDC may not be reporting flu-related deaths and illness, and they certainly are. You can go directly to the CDC website and find it yourself. I just went there myself, and they are releasing weekly reports. You just need to go to the influenza-related section. You can find that for yourself right there. Another thing we talked about this morning that I want to go over again is Ohio's stay-at-home order being extended to May 29th. Lots of people are confused about that. They're not understanding the phases of reopening as it pertains to the stay-at-home order being extended to May 29th. The point to be made here is that Ohio will slowly begin the reopening process. So all of the provisions of the stay-at-home order are continuing to be in effect through May 29th, except for today, May 1st. Healthcare facilities can now begin to do those non-essential procedures and non-essential things that they previously were not able to do, as long as it doesn't require an overnight stay in the hospital. Dentists can also resume, and veterinarians are able to do things that are considered non-essential as well for pets. Now, effective May 4th, that's Monday, general office environments are permitted to open again with those physical distancing protocols in place, but also urging as many people as can work from home to do so, per Governor Mike DeWine. And manufacturing, distribution, and construction will then be able to resume on May 4th. And it won't be until May 12th that retail locations can begin to open. Governor Mike DeWine has said that masks will be required of employees at those retail locations, and they are strongly recommended for customers, but not required. However, do keep in mind, pay attention to the rules of the places that you would like to go, because stores themselves may require people to wear masks. Some of them have already said they will do so, like Costco. Whole Foods is asking its customers to wear masks and has also even said they will provide them in some locations as well. So keep an eye on what the rules are at your store, because if that's the case, it may not matter what the state is requiring or not requiring or recommending, because you might not be able to go to the store that you would like to go to if you don't have a mask and you're not abiding by those guidelines. And of course, the CDC guidelines do remain in effect here in Ohio as well. No gatherings of more than 10 people, as the stay-at-home order remains in effect through May 29th. Now, businesses that are staying closed right now are schools, restaurant and bars for dine-in and being in the facility. They are still open for carry-out and delivery. Personal appearance things like beauty, like salons and those kinds of things. Adult day support or vocational habilitation services, other adult care services and senior centers, child care services, and things related to entertainment, recreation, gyms, and fitness, and those sort of things. With all of this going on, there's an Ohio representative who is criticizing Dr. Amy Acton, our director of the Department of Health here in Ohio, in a Facebook post. Representative Nino Vital criticized the governor and Dr. Acton, and including the hashtags masks do not work, Open Ohio Now, and hashtag Kill Your TV. Vital's post came hours after Acton officially extended Ohio's stay-at-home order through May 29th. And DeWine revealed that Ohio's stay-at-home order, which has been in effect since March 23rd, would be extended with the exceptions that we just talked about, going into effect today, Monday, and then further down the road on May 12th. So despite DeWine previously stating that the stay-at-home order would be extended, Vital, who represents the 85th district in the Ohio House of Representatives, took issue with the fact that it was officially done in the early hours of the morning this morning. This is what Vital wrote, quote, "Your basic human rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness do not come from an unelected globalist health director who signed the order in the dark of night. Your basic human rights are inalienable and cannot be bought, sold, traded, or taken from you." The post's privacy settings have since been changed, so you may not be able to see that if you go to the representatives page at this point. Canada has banned assault-style weapons following a deadly shooting. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau cited numerous mass shootings in the country, including the killing of 22 people in Nova Scotia. That was on April 18th and 19th. Trudeau said Canadians need more than thoughts and prayers. The cabinet order doesn't forbid owning any of the military-style weapons, but it does ban the use and trade of those weapons. He said the order has a 2-year amnesty period for current owners, and there will be a compensation program that will require a bill passed in Parliament. He said the weapons were designed for one purpose, and one purpose only, to kill the largest number of people in the shortest amount of time. Trudeau then went on to say there is no use and no place for such weapons in Canada. So this is a very bold move in terms of gun control in Canada, something that many people have called for in lots of places, including here in the US, and now we're seeing some of those things take effect in Canada. Here, back in Northeast Ohio, African Safari Wildlife Park will be reopening for the first time since November, when there was that fire that took the lives of 10 animals, and that was on Thanksgiving Day, just days before closing for the season. But the park will reopen this weekend. It will be reopening tomorrow. The animals that lost their lives in that fire were 4 antelopes, 3 giraffes, and 3 Red River hogs. And so now the Port Clinton drive-through attraction will be reopening on Saturday. They do have more than 400 animals at the facility, and the president and co-owner of the park, Holly Hunter, said this today. We are so appreciative and incredibly touched by the support African Safari Wildlife Park has received from our community and from friends around the world after the fire. Not all of the typical animals will be able to be seen, however, during the drive-through attraction. The giraffe and the antelope will debut when the weather permits, as we get a little bit nicer weather moving into the spring season. The schedule for the next few weeks is this. Beginning May 2nd, which is tomorrow, through the 21st, you can visit the park Saturdays and Sundays, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. The last vehicle will be admitted in the park at 5 p.m. and then weekdays, 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Also, the park will not be open until 10 a.m. tomorrow. So usually the park opens from 9 to 6 on Saturdays and Sundays, but tomorrow for opening day it will be from 10 p.m. until 5 p.m. with the last car admitted at 4 p.m. So keep that in mind. Now, if you're in the Newburgh Heights area, there will be a Parade of Hope taking place tomorrow. This is to raise awareness for mental health. It will be a group of horses led by the Metro Parks Mounted Unit and Hope Meadows Foundation, and that parade will begin at 2 p.m. to raise awareness for mental health. The parade will take place through the streets of Newburgh Heights. It will start at the Metro Parks Golf Course and go all the way to City Hall. A press release from the organization says this: our goal is to promote positive mental health by encouraging families to get outside and spend time in nature. This is indeed at the heart and mission of both the Cleveland Metro Parks and Hope Meadows Foundation. People are asked to watch from their front porch and their lawns as the parade of horses goes by, and all of those participating, by the way, will be observing safe distancing protocols. That includes the horses, as we now have those new guidelines related to animals from the CDC and them maintaining a safe distance from other animals that they don't live with. The Hope Meadows Foundation will also be leaving packets at the end of each driveway for those who would like them after the parade passes. Those packets will include things like coloring books, stress balls, magnets, and sticker badges. So you can check that out. We have more details on that up on WKYC.com and our WKYC app. Okay, this has been your afternoon update of the top headlines on WKYC. Governor Mike DeWine's press conference is in process right now. You can find that on WKYC.com, on our WKYC app, on Facebook, also on YouTube. And then after that, we'll have more coverage for you on What's New at 5 p.m. I will see you there. Also on What Matters Most at 6 p.m., on Front Row at 7 p.m., and on What's Next at 11 p.m. And then I will see all of you back here on Monday, May 4th at 11 a.m. on Star Wars Day. I'll see you back then. Everybody have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon.